The 1% progress rule, how tiny daily improvements create massive results. What happens if you improve by just 1% every day? It doesn't sound like much, does it? Just 1%. One tiny step. A change so small, no one even notices. But imagine this. If you get 1% better every day, and you keep that up for 365 days, you won't just be slightly better. You'll be nearly 37 times better. That's not motivation. That's math. And that's why the 1% progress rule can transform your entire life. Without burnout. Left-pointing magnifying glass. What's the real problem? We live in a world obsessed with breakthroughs. People celebrate 30-day glow-ups, quick transformations, and one-week success hacks. And if we don't see huge results fast, we give up. Because we believe, if I can't go big right away, what's the point of going small? But the truth is, extraordinary change doesn't come from extraordinary effort. It comes from tiny improvements, repeated consistently. Electric light bulb. What will you discover in this video? Why we often quit even when we're on the right path. The compound effect of habits, how improving just 1% a day works mathematically and psychologically. And most importantly, how to apply this rule to the areas that matter, your career, health, learning, and self-growth. White right pointing backhand index if you're looking for a realistic and sustainable way to grow every single day, without needing to change your whole life overnight. Hit like and subscribe to Everyday Momentum. Each week, you'll get one simple rule to help you keep moving forward, one day at a time. Part 1. Why we underestimate small progress and quit too soon. There's a common paradox in personal growth. Everyone wants to change. But very few are willing to start with something so small that it feels maintainable. We often believe, to get better, we have to overhaul our entire schedule. To get fit, we need to work out 2 hours a day. To become fluent in English, we must speak fluently within 30 days. And when we only manage to do something small, white heavy checkmark read for 5 minutes. White heavy checkmark write one sentence in a journal. White heavy checkmark walk for 10 minutes. We often tell ourselves, that's meaningless. At this pace, I'll never make it. I should be doing more, and doing it faster. The problem lies in how the brain defines a value. According to Dr. B.J. Fogg of Stanford University, author of Tiny Habits, the brain doesn't like slow progress because it doesn't create enough of a reward response. We crave quick results to feel that our effort is worth it. When we don't see results fast enough, we assume our efforts are pointless, and we give up. This is known as the illusion of insignificance. The belief that if your actions don't create big results immediately, then they're worthless. Chart with downward trend. So what happens? We start strong. On day 1, we read 50 pages, work out for an hour, wake up at 5 a.m. But by day 4 or 5, we're exhausted, frustrated, and impatient. By day 6 or 7, we quit because we haven't seen any meaningful results. Not because we lack motivation. Not because we're incapable. But because we chose the wrong approach to move forward. Repeat button. Meanwhile, sustainable change often begins with something much simpler. Pushpin. Someone writes just one line a day. Pushpin. Someone learns one new word each morning. Pushpin. Someone does 3 push-ups a day for the first 7 days. At first, no one notices a difference. But after 30 to 60, 90 days, the brain, behavior, and results begin to transform. We don't quit because we run out of energy. We quit because we don't see our small progress as enough to keep going. But the truth is, every lasting transformation begins with progress so small, it's almost invisible. In the next part, you'll discover something remarkable. If you improve by just 1% a day, in 1 year, you'll be 37 times better than you are today. Sounds unbelievable? Let's dive into the compound effect of habits, a truth backed by both science and math, but ignored by most people. Part 2. The Compound Effect of 1% Progress, Science and Surprising Truths. Imagine this. If you improve your performance by just 1% each day, then after 1 year, you won't just be twice as good. You'll be 37 times better. Sounds like magic? It's not. It's math. The math behind 1% progress. The formula is simple. 1.01 × 365 equals 37.78. That means if you improve by just 1% each day, by day 365, you'll be nearly 38 times better than when you started. But what if you decline by 1% a day? 0.99 × 365 equals 0.025. After 1 year, you'll have nearly disappeared. That's the power of compounding. Left-pointing magnifying glass. What does psychology say? According to James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Your results are a reflection of your repeated actions, not your rare, extraordinary moments. In other words, a small action, done consistently, will outperform a short burst of effort every time. You don't need to start perfectly. You just need to not stop. Repeat button. Real talk. The people who outperform you aren't doing more. They're just doing a little, for longer. Great writers? They don't write 50 pages a day, they write 500 words each morning, for 2 years. Great students? They don't cram 12 hours, they review for 15 minutes every evening. Fit people? They don't train 2 hours a day, they stick to 30-minute workouts, 3 times a week for 6 months. Neuroscience insight. Your brain loves small repetition. According to Dr. Wendy Wood, a habit expert at the University of Southern California, when you repeat a small behavior consistently, your brain begins to automate it, turning it into a reflex. This is called automaticity, a type of behavioral memory. The smaller the behavior, the easier it is to sustain. And the more consistently you sustain it, the greater the results. Electric light bulb. The key message? 1% a day might go unnoticed at first. But 1 year later, everyone will notice. You don't need to win against the world. You just need to win against yourself, from yesterday. So how do you actually apply the 1% rule in real life? Especially when you're busy, short on time, and low on motivation. In the next part, you'll get practical tools, clear methods, and real-world examples to help you grow steadily, without needing inspiration, perfection, or massive effort. Just one small thing, done consistently. Part 3. How to apply the 1% rule to work, health, learning, and personal growth. You now understand the power of improving by 1% a day. You know big change comes from small improvements. But the real question is, where should I start? What can I do each day to ensure I'm moving forward? Don't worry, this section gives you practical tools. Not just to understand the idea, but to put it into action right away. Brief case 1. Work, just do one thing better than yesterday. You don't need to boost productivity by 300% or hit KPIs 2 months early. You only need to optimize one small task each day. Write your emails 1% more clearly. Review your work 1% more carefully. Prepare for meetings 1% more thoroughly. Ask yourself, what can I do just a little better today than I did yesterday? Right pointing backhand index. After 30 days, you're no longer just a hard-working employee. You're someone who works smarter every day. Runner 2. Health, don't do more. Do it more consistently. Instead of forcing yourself to run 5 kilometers a day and quitting after a week, start small. Do 5 push-ups every morning. Take a 10-minute walk after lunch. Drink 1 more glass of water per day. Sounds insignificant? But if you keep this up for 30 to 60, 90 days, you'll see your energy, mindset, and body begin to shift. Results don't come from intensity. They come from consistency. Books 3. Learning, you don't need 3 hours a day. Just a focused 1%. Want to master a new skill? Improve your English? Get better at public speaking? Forget lofty goals. Set tiny goals you can't excuse your way out of. Learn one new word a day. Practice one English sentence you can actually use. Re-watch 2 minutes of a TED Talk with focus. The formula is simple. A little, every day, with purpose, repeated. 4. Mindset and resilience. Write down one line of progress every day. Success doesn't just come from skills or knowledge. It comes from the awareness that you are improving. Right pointing backhand index each night. Write down one sentence. What did I improve today, even if just a little? You'll start to realize what once felt small becomes a habit. What once felt insignificant becomes inner strength. And the magic happens. You're no longer someone trying to live better. You become someone who is improving, by design. In the final part, you'll hear a true story. About an ordinary person who achieved something extraordinary. Simply by getting 1% better every single day. You'll see. No luck required. No talent needed. Just relentless commitment to the small, for long enough. Part 4. Ryan's story, an ordinary person, extraordinary results. Thanks to 1% a day. Ryan was a young programmer living in London. He wasn't especially smart. Didn't have a prestigious degree. And honestly, he had always struggled with learning. When he started working, Ryan felt behind in every way. Poor communication. Slow coding. No grasp of system architecture. Disappointed face like most people, he tried to transform himself. Studied 5 hours every night, burned out after 1 week. Tried running every morning, quit after 6 days. Built perfect plans but never stuck to them. Until one day, he read a single line in Atomic Habits. 1% better each day equals 37x better in 1 year. No hype. No motivation. Just a simple idea, but powerful enough for him to start over. Rocket Ryan redesigned his life around one principle. Each day, just be a little better than yesterday. Every morning, he learned one new coding concept, just 15 minutes. Every week, he wrote a short blog post, even if no one read it. Every night, he asked himself, what did I improve today? No one noticed his growth. There was no dramatic glow-up. But 3 months later, he was invited to interview at a top company. 6 months later, his articles were shared on major tech forums. 1 year later, he became a mentor, guiding new team members. Explosion symbol. No magic. No genius. Just a regular person, doing small things every single day. Do you know what Ryan said when asked about his secret? Each day, I just try to write one line of code better than I did yesterday. The rest? I let time do its job. Electric light bulb, and that's the greatest message of the 1% rule. You don't need to start perfect. You just need to not stop. Because if you move forward, even by just 1% a day, 365 days later, you'll realize it was the small things, done consistently, that completely transformed who you are. You can be Ryan. You can start today with the smallest step you can control. In the final section, I'll help you lock in the core message and guide you through a clear call to action. So the 1% rule doesn't just inspire you. It becomes your personal commitment. You don't need to do something big, just do something small, consistently. The world often applauds dramatic transformations. But real life is built through very small steps, repeated with quiet persistence. You don't need inspiration. You don't need motivation. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. You just need to do 1% better than yesterday. And keep repeating that. Electric light bulb. Remember, 1% a day equals 37x stronger in 1 year. One small action equals one brick in the foundation of your success. One step forward, no matter how small, is still progress. Repeat button. So, if you're procrastinating, start with one small thing. If you're exhausted, slow down, but don't stop. If you don't know where to begin, start with what you can control today. Because one day, you'll look back and realize your life didn't change in one defining moment. It changed through the 1% choices you didn't ignore. White right pointing backhand index. If this video resonated with you, don't just scroll past. Turn that feeling into a commitment. White heavy check mark like as a reminder that you can make progress every single day. White heavy check mark. Subscribe to Everyday Momentum, where each week you'll get one small rule with the power to change everything. White heavy check mark. Turn on the bell so you don't miss the rule that arrives exactly when you need it. White heavy check mark. Comment below. Tomorrow, I will improve by 1% by. Because when you write it down, you're not just thinking about change. You're activating a system. A chain of tiny effects that might take you farther than you ever imagined.